Stick with me and upgrade your pathetic understanding of human design to a respectable one. This is going to be a little bit of a longer video, but by the end of it, guarantee this isn't going to appear like some confusing game of hopscotch for you. It's going to be a literal treasure chest that you can open at any time. First lesson, these little shapes are called centers. The things connecting them are called channels. Sometimes the channels will not go all the way across like this 48 here. That's called a hanging gate. From person to person, the circuitry will vary. Take my body graph, for example. When there are no channels, like there are here, you get undefined centers. When there's a channel, both centers become defined. Everybody has unique placements that are determined 88 days before your birth and help to constitute your body, your unconscious mind, or the vehicle, and the day of your birth, which is your personality, who you think you are, your conscious self, or the passenger. The goal of human design is to help you get out of your head and into your body by understanding and accepting the limitations and thus learning how to leverage your body and your unique circuitry to your advantage. When we have activation in the gates and the centers, that creates a consistent, reliable pulse. When we have openness in the centers, that creates a consistent, reliable receptivity. Doesn't mean you're broken or that you don't have things like a sacral or an emotional center. It just means that you're receptive. You're going to pick up what is ever around you. Now, a lot of people think that they have to learn about all of these gates and channels. And while all of that is helpful, it's actually much more approachable if you just understand this whole thing from a bird's eye view. So I'm gonna show you how to use this like an actual map. First of all, there's two pressure centers that are trying to get to one manifestation center. Head, which is the pressure to think, and root, which is the pressure to do stuff. That's inspiration, and that's stress and cortisol. They're all trying to make their way to the throat. The throat is the manifestation center. This is where you either manifest the acceptance and the love of yourself or your not self. There are 5 different types in human design: generators, manifestors, projectors, and reflectors. They each have a unique strategy, or rather a way of using their physical circuitry so that they're manifesting success, satisfaction, peace, and surprise instead of disappointment, frustration, anger, and bitterness. As root pressure and head pressure is on their way towards the throat for manifestation, they're going to pass through awareness centers. These are the 3: spleen, which is survival; ajna, which is conceptual and mental; and the solar plexus, which is emotional. You can think of these like filters that filter out certain things based on the activation. Certain things are going to be more important to a certain person based off their activation. For instance, in this body graph, we have depth, intuition, alertness, and correction, which are going to be more important, for instance, than things like the responsibility of taking care of others, what can be transformed, and the worth of life assessed based off risk. That, by the way, is a concept called keynoting, which is incredibly helpful for learning human design. The spleen wants to keep you alive, the head and ajna want to make you right, and the emotions want to know the truth. All we have up until now is pressure and awareness, okay? We don't have energy until we actually start to touch into these 4. This is the energy to move forward. This is the energy to use your creative life force. This is the energy to like prove yourself and grow material wealth and belongings. And that there is the energy to confront the truth. And if you're wondering, yes, this is a hybrid center. It's awareness and energy. This is energy and pressure. This is where all the actual physical energy comes from in your body graph. And for those of you with undefined centers, it doesn't mean that you don't have these centers. It just means that those energies are going to be a lot less consistent for you, which doesn't mean they're broken. It doesn't mean they're bad. You just have to be a master of tuning in subtly and recognizing, do I have the energy to create? Or is it just that I've been spending a lot of time with my buddy who creates a lot and has a lot of energy to create? Now I'm trying to keep up with him. Last center is the G center, and this is basically the driver. If we have a vehicle and a passenger, this is the thing that's making sure that the passenger is comfortable and that the vehicle isn't being driven off-road when it's a Formula One race car. Each of these centers is correlated to actual physiology. This is actual biology in your system. And if you use this system as a map rather than a personality test, you can upgrade your pathetic understanding of human design to an actual respectable embodiment. The way that you do that is to build sensitivity so that you can discern the difference between root pressure and an emotional wave. Which, to give you an example, is the difference between like having to take a poop and feeling tears well up behind your eyes. Nothing is separated, and that's what we're seeing within the channels. And so these channels are opportunities for you to consider why you show up in the world the way you show up. Because again, you can't fight this. You can't fight this. The idea of human design is to help you surrender to your body and your form in the way that you are, so that instead of comparing yourself endlessly to other people, you can actually be yourself and live a wonderful life. If you want an in-depth analysis of your body graph, visit my website, reikimarco.com, plug in your birth information, generate a body graph, and you can get a report. It's super affordable. And for those of you that are looking to take this whole thing from magical game of hopscotch to 3D human being, come check out the archive.